We are here to do your channel messages and what I see for your star sign in each month. Now, if you do like this content, remember to click the bell. And also we do have a brand new edition, which is the Romance Zone. So stay tuned for that. I will be bringing those channel messages with the tarot live by mid-month. So if you do wish this content ahead of the game, you can join a YouTube membership where I pre-release these a week ahead. Take care, and let's have a look at what I see for your zodiac sign this month. Welcome back, Aquarius. Happy New Year. Yes, a very bold year for you indeed. And we do have your psychic messages for both love and general. And as mentioned, yes, we do have a mid-month edition, which is going to be the Romance Zone. So come through and join us for those, where I am on screen and we can directly channel those messages and see what's up in the hood in your romance zone. Okay, what do I see coming through for you psychically? I do feel you can feel the pressure point, and I especially feel it's very important for your zodiac sign to not pacify. And this could be very tense in orientation. You can feel radical changes coming. You may be reviewing your past and looking at circumstances and, wondering when these brand new beginnings are coming and wondering whether you somehow, and I do feel a lot of psychoanalysis. This is almost like, shadow work. It's feeling as though you're quite stuck. There could be this element of paranoia, but I do feel many of you are going to be taking on a new vibration. It's almost a very strict undertone of, why do I keep having to look at this? Can I actually have a brand new beginning? Am I going to be able to deal with that brand new beginning? And how do I best proceed forward? I do feel on this occasion you could be articulating these things to individuals around you. It could be a more openness. Could it come through in an abrupt sense? It can. But I do feel for you a lot of subjects around romance, healthy boundaries, romance, children. Some of you could be experiencing creativity. Some of you that were experiencing issues surrounding it, I do feel it can dissipate as we do move towards the end of this month. But nevertheless, there is this supercharge where it does come to your romantic sector, intensification of creativity. Some of you could be feeling, all the way from motivated to unmotivated, passive to very projectile. So you may need to watch for that. I do feel particularly around your love zone, there can be some key points, and I feel in the domain of love, there appears to be, some of you could have lost a little bit of libido. Some of you that are single might be feeling very, do I want to stay single? Do I want to go into coupledom? Some of you also are feeling, from a creative point of view, could be emotionally eating. You could be looking at your diet. You can be thinking, I'm going on and off my food. How do I get that balance? I do feel, I'm hearing the term getting sexy back, and I feel emotionally, it does feel the motivation is necessary, and I do feel a lot of you can feel very, very fatigued. I do feel as the month progresses, your energy is going to really gain momentum. But I do feel it's very important to, not overwhelm yourself. Some of you are feeling as though you're having to be everything to everyone. I do feel you want a sense of freedom, but you're feeling quite shackled down. Some of you can feel that this is going to be a long-term thing. It's going to be a permanent thing where you really, head to the ground, so to speak. I do feel some of you can get some very exciting news. Things are moving very quickly for you, I do feel, especially this year. I just get this feeling that you're going to be extremely busy. I'm feeling needing to act on subjects, and it does feel this urgency moving into January. So it's almost like you have to make some urgent adjustments. I feel these urgent adjustments are to get your ducks in a row, and I feel you're going to have the energy to get that done. Energy will pick up by mid-month into the end of the month, but nevertheless, I do feel rushing, and I do feel, really guided to guide you into saying, don't rush on the road. I'm also seeing a piece of paperwork, and they're saying, make sure you read the fine print, make sure you're reading, because I do feel some of you are rushing. I do feel this pushback on people that have really pushed you into a corner, and I feel you're becoming quite, it's almost like this liberation, this independence that you're achieving inside yourself. I don't feel some of you are necessarily feeling that you're getting that as soon as you enter January 2023, but there could be a circumstance where it starts to really gain momentum, and you see this bold, vivacious version of yourself. I do feel old circumstances from the past are going to be cropping up, and you can be very, very worried. And it's almost like you know what these situations are, they need addressing. And I directly do feel there's a potential that by you being aware of where they are, what they are, it will be in January, the steps that you take will be the key to such. That's what they're making reference to. I'm hearing all eyes on you. I do particularly feel some of you by mid-month could really feel your life is going in a completely different direction. I also feel that if you had been having issues, maybe in romance, you could be making some bold decisions in that domain too. I'm hearing the term make and break, but it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It just feels it's being reworked again. This can be due to external influences at play, not necessarily that the direct intimate connection is toxic. I do feel there can be some squabbles around siblings as well. Look, relating to your romance zone, I do particularly feel there are some new situations cropping up. This can be somebody of the past that you've been thinking about, bang, they turn up. Reworking the circumstance, trying to discuss some of those issues to see whether reconciliations are possible. I do feel you're going to be quite self-focused, and I don't necessarily feel that is a bad thing. I do feel the element of romance can get spicy by mid-month, and I do particularly feel it can be positive. But I do feel for you in your life at a personal level, this is going to be the month for brand new chapters. I do feel the communication sense. Some of you, I'm telling you, some of you by mid-month could get some news, could have your dreams come true, shocking revelations, sudden decisions that you make. I do really think these are going to take people by surprise. There can be some tension points in the first week of January, and that can be around love and your beliefs. I don't necessarily feel you're off par. I just feel point blank zero for the collective. There's going to be an intense week. I do feel the other pocket is by the end of the month, moving into February. I also see a conversation playing out that can be very assertive. And I don't think this is negative. I do think some of these things are necessary. Text messages, emails, I keep seeing, and I do see these to be quite positive, but this is going to ask you to react at a drop of a hat. I do feel in your career sector there is an element of, it's a condensed frequency. It's like something you're going to achieve is going to be in a pocket of time. I don't feel this is just related to January. I do feel this is relating to the next 6 months, but I do feel it's slow and steady wins the race, but I do feel the slingshot effect forward. So it's more like there is growth in the career sector, but ultimately there can be between now and 6 months' time, life is going to look extremely different. So it's like I'm hearing penny little, the sky's falling down, but it more feels you're trying to become quite productive and realistic with your time. Some of you, there can be an issue surrounding a vehicle. Again, I just keep saying be very careful around driving. Okay, in your family domain, what do I see in your family domain? Some of you also can be super fertile. Now, if you were having issues surrounding that, I do feel it's going to dissipate as we do reach the end of the month, and maybe there is some clarity. I also feel to really, for those of you that are feminines, to be looking after your fertility organs. Again, I can't give you medical advice, but it more feels the base chakra, the food that you're eating. There can be slight sensitivities. But I do directly feel some of you could be saying to yourself, okay, am I wearing myself out? Do I need to get fit? How do I get that situation moving again? Some of you could have intimate wounds coming up at this point in time. This could be your beliefs in self-esteem. This could be feeling very unmotivated and wondering why you're so tired. I do feel, again, it is going to pick up. Slight adjustments are really going to benefit you. And I do particularly feel many of you are going to be looking at habits that you feel you really need to address, if there are any, and what you need to leave behind so that you can have that balance. And, some of this can just be very simple things. It could be something as simple as getting enough sleep, being organized and systematic. Some of these stress levels can come from home. I do feel particularly some of you could be moving. Some of you could have tension surrounding this. And I particularly feel this can be quite sudden. It can be news coming in. It can be the need to actually move, the need to address things. Wealth inside the household also can be shifting. Some of you this year are really, linking to your family, linking to your wealth and your energy. It's almost like you're trying to get more bearings and stability in the home zone. And that could have been your relationships with your connections. It might have been, trying to bounce back after the last few years. I do particularly feel this year is going to be different. And I do potentially see some of you making drastic, radical change in that domain. I also had change of mind. I'm seeing the third week. Third week, sudden changes surrounding home. Now, what could that look like? It could be buying new furniture. It could be selling items that you feel you don't resonate with. It could be money coming in order to do things in the home. It can be people moving in, you moving out. There are definite changes and rumbles happening in that domain. But I do feel some of the plans directly that you can be making are for that as well. This could be saving for a home in the long run. I do see the stress points in career, but I particularly feel this month, if you are wanting to make any drastic changes, it will be occurring. Some of you, if you had delayed, but you knew and you felt you needed to address it, I do particularly feel you could be going in that direction and addressing things. Some of you, if you were wanting to look at study, I do feel you have a small pocket. And then it feels you're going to be lunged into the deep end. It could be, potentially having to really focus on, that day-to-day grind and maybe having to put that situation on the back burner. Some of you, it could be actually doing courses online. But I feel this is coming through in the next 3 to 6 months. What would my tips for you be, my beautifuls? Now, this year is going to be quite transformative for you. I would say understand that some of those odd situations that you had maybe over the last few years, they are going to still feel intense, but what I can say is they're going to be completely transformed. So where potentially you felt you couldn't get things off the ground, where you felt maybe very worried and stuck and that, there was this fair-based frequency going on. I just really feel that the tension points, yes, they'll spike at different points in the year, but I do feel you're finally going to have an outcome. And I do feel at a personal level, you're going to be able to choose yourself. You're going to be able to make those changes, and it is going to be within your power. Very exciting times for you, Aquarius. Try to keep grounded through the months. Enjoy your new moon in Aquarius. And I wish you the very best. Come through and join us for your romance house mid-month. Love to see you. We will have this out in the Members Hub pre-release prior to mid-month in January 2023 if you want to view it ahead of the crowd. Otherwise, I will see you for our twin flame updates and more online.